India's best UPSC interview guidance by former UPSC board members. 5-pronged approach includes DAF briefing, one-to-one sessions, regional information guidance, feedback by a psychologist, mock interview mimicking the actual interview by former UPSC board members only at KPIS Delhi. This is the guidance by the best to ace the UPSC race. WhatsApp your DAF to 9133957733 now.
Hello everybody. Welcome to 21st Century IAS Academy, Delhi's upscale meditational mentorship UPSC Confidence Covenant program. This is Goli Varsha. I'm sure you're taking the tests seriously and writing them consistently every single day. On this positive note, we shall see the test explanation for CSAT questions given on
Day 23, Time and Work Part 2. A can do 20% of the work in 15 days, B can do 1/5 of the work in 12 days, C can do 40% of the work in 18 days, and D can do 1/4 of the work in 16 days. Who will complete the work first? Which means he is asking you who is the efficient person among 4 people. Alright, so A can complete 20% of the work in how many days? In 15 days. Alright, so 100% of the work, that is total work, will be completed in how many days? See, 20 into 5 is 100, so 15 into 5, he'll complete in 75 days. Alright, now coming to B. B can do 1/5 of the work in 12 days. Alright, what is 1/5 in percentage? It is 20%, right? So, 20% of the work is done in 12 days and 100% will be done in how many days? See, 20 into 5 is 100. Similarly, 12 into 5, again 60 days. Alright, now coming to C. Now C is doing 40% of the work in 18 days. Alright, 100% is how much? 40% plus 40% plus 20%, right? So how will you write? 18 days plus 18 days. What is 20%? Half of 40%, that means it will become 18 will become what? 9 days. So C will do 100% of the work in 36 plus 9, that is 45 days. Alright. Now D can do 1/4 of the work in 16 days. Okay, so 1/4, that is 25%. D is doing 25% of the work in 16 days. And 100% will be done into 4, right? So 16 into 4, that is 64 days. Who will complete the work first? It is C. Alright, so 45 days. He is completing it in 45 days, no? Yeah. Did you understand this one? Why did I write? I split 100% into 40% plus 40% plus 20%. Actually, you can do, see, 40% of the work is done in 18 days. 100% is how many days? Okay, 100 by 40 into 18. Instead of this, what I have done, I did 40%. I split 100 into 40%, 40% and 20%. So 40% is 18 days, another 18 days, and 20% is how much? Half of 40%. Then this also will become half. So I wrote 9. Alright, so C is the answer. A person A can complete 25% of the work in 10 days. Another person B can complete 40% of the same work in 8 days. If they work together, in how many days will 60% of the work be completed? Okay, now A can actually complete 25% of the total work in 10 days. Alright, which means he can complete 100% of the work in how many days? 40 days. How did I get 40? See, 25 into 4 is 100 and 10 into 4 is 40. Alright, so A can complete 100% of the work in 40 days. Now, what is B's scenario? 40% of the work, he is completing it 8 days. Alright, now 100% of the work in how many days? Again, we will use the same concept that we used in the previous problem. Okay, 100 I'll split into 40% of the work plus 40% of the work plus 20% of the work. Alright. So 40% of the work, how much time is he taking? 8 days. Another 40%, another 8 days. Another 20% of the work. See, 40% is 8 days. 20% will become how much? 20% of the work. It will become 4 days. Right? So he's completing it in 8 plus 8, 16, 16 plus 4, 20 days. Alright. So now A and B are working together. Alright. So together they will complete 100% of the work in how many days? It will be equal to 1 by 40 plus 1 by 20. Alright. This is equal to how much? It is equal to 3 by 40. Yeah. So they can complete 100% of the work in 40 by 3 days. Now, how many days will 60% of the work be completed in? Alright. So in fraction form, if I have to say, this 100 will become 1. So 40 by 3. What is 60%? 60 by 100, right? In fraction terms, what is it? It is 3 by 5. Alright. So 3/5 of the work will be completed in how many days? Alright. This is the question. It is equal to 40 by 3 into 3 by 5. Alright. So it is 8 days. Alright. A man completes 7 by 8 of a job in 21 days. How many more days will it take him to finish the job if quantum of the work further increased by 50%? Okay. See, let the total work be W, initial total work. Alright, later we'll increase it by 50% and we'll find out. But initial work, if it is W, 7 by 8 parts of the work was completed in 21 days. Alright, now how much is remaining? 1 by 8th part is remaining, right? Now, see, 7 by 8 parts of work he's doing it in 21 days. Now, 1 by 8th part of work, in how many days will he be able to do? 1 by 8, he will be able to complete it 3 days. Alright. That means for entire work to get completed, 7 by 8 parts plus 1 by 8 part. Okay, the entire work will be completed in 21 plus these 3 days, 24 days. Alright, but they've asked you not this one. They asked you if the work is further increased by 50%. Okay, that means this 24 days he has to work and another 12 days he has to work. Alright, and they are asking you number of extra days other than 21, how many days he has to work so that he will complete W plus 50% of W work. Alright, this W is taking how many days? 21 plus 3 days, and this 50% of W or half of the work will be done in how many days? Another 12 days. Okay, because this total is 24 and 50% work will take another 12 days, right? So what are they asking? How many more days? Please be very, very careful about this. How many more days? 21 is already given. So these extra days will become your answer. The extra days are 15. Alright, so D is the answer. A works twice as fast as B. Alright, that means A's efficiency is twice that of B. Alright, whereas A and B together can work 6 times as fast as C. That means A plus B is how much? Is 6C. That is A's efficiency plus B's efficiency together is 6 times of C. Alright. A is equal to 2B, right? A plus B is 6C. This is clear. Now, what are they asking? If A, B and C together work on a project, in what ratio should they share their profits? In the previous session, I mentioned that the profits or the wages will be paid according to one's efficiency. Alright, so here if you know the ratio of efficiency, your job is done. Alright, now all the efficiencies, that is A's efficiency, B's efficiency and C's efficiency, we have to get into one common ratio. Alright, so we will write everything in terms of B. Now because A is equal to 2B is already there. So now we will get C also in terms of B. Alright, so you will get, if you substitute A is equal to 2B, 3B is equal to 6C. Now 3 1s are 3 2s are. B is to C is 2:1. Now A is to B is 2:1. All right. For us to be able to write A is to B is to C, A is to B is to C, here B is the connecting point, right? But you have different proportions, so you have to make it equal. How will you make it equal? You can divide this and multiply this by 2 so that your denominator will become 2. All right. So into 2 into 2. So you're multiplying 2 in the numerator and 2 in the denominator. All right. So overall, you are multiplying the fraction into 2 and dividing the fraction by 2. Yeah. So 4 by 2. All right. So A is to B is how much? 4:2. B is to C is how much? 2:1. Now B is common and the ratio is also fine to club them both. So A is to B is to C will become 4:2:1. B. All right. So A is to B is to C will become how much? 4:2:1. Why? Because B is the connecting factor, and in the ratios here B's ratio is in terms of 2. Here also it is 2. Okay, 2 into some constant, 2 into some constant. So this 2 is there, no? So if you want to club, these two numbers should be the same. So A is to B is to C is 4:2:1. A, B, C working independently can do a piece of work in 8, 16 and 12 days respectively. A alone works on Monday, B alone works on Tuesday, C alone works on Wednesday. A alone again works on Thursday and so on. Consider the following statements. Okay, first if we decode the question, it's given that A, B and C are there and A alone works on Monday, B alone works on Tuesday, C alone works on Wednesday. Alright, again A works on Thursday, B works on Friday, C works on Saturday, again A will work on Sunday. See, you should not assume that Sunday is a holiday, so A will not work because it's not explicitly given in the question. Alright, unless and until it is explicitly given, you are not supposed to assume. Sunday, again Monday, Tuesday, again Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and so on. The cycle will continue. Alright. Now it's also given that A can complete the work in 8 days, B in 16 days, and C in 12 days, which means A's 1 day's work will be equal to 1/8 of the total work. B's 1 day's work is 1/16th of the total work. C's 1 day's work is 1/12th of the total work. Alright, so if A is working on Monday, B is working on Tuesday, and C is working on Wednesday, in 3 days, the total work done will be equal to how much? It will be equal to 1/8 plus 1/16 plus 1/12. What is the LCM of 8, 16 and 12? It's 48. Okay, 8 6 are 48 plus 16 3s are 48 plus 12 4s 48. Alright, so how much is it? 6 plus 4 is 10, 10 plus 3 is 13. 13/48. Alright, so 13/48 part of the work is done. Now in next 3 days, another 13/48. In the third 3 days, another 13/48. Alright, now if you observe the denominator, 13/48, it's 13/48, right? Oh ma'am, so what is it? We are all able to see. You might think like that, but what does it mean? Out of 48 parts of the work that is there, 13 parts are done in the first 3 days. That is the meaning of this fraction. Alright, so 13 out of 48 parts, 13 parts are done in first 3 days. Alright, now in second a 3 days slot, another 13 parts will be done. In third 3 day slot, another next 13 parts will be done. So by the end of Tuesday, that is second Tuesday, how many parts in total will be done? 13 plus 13 plus 13. Total of 39 parts of 48 will be done by this time. All right. Now next, another 13 by 48 part, you might write like this. But this is wrong, because how many parts are remaining after completing 39 parts? There are only 9 parts of work. There is only 9 parts of work that is remaining. How am I able to conclude this? See, 39 by 48 parts of by 48 is the fraction, which means 39 parts of the work is done out of total 48 parts. How many parts are remaining? 9 parts of the work is still remaining. That 9 parts will not take another 3 days. You getting my point? So remaining is 9 by 48 parts of the total work. All right. Now let us check. Now if we take Sunday and Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, after that Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. Now if we club this Wednesday and Thursday together, this fellow A and B will work together. So if 1 by 8 plus 1 by 16, you're getting the desired fraction, then the work will get completed by Thursday. If you're not getting it, then again you have to move for Friday. All right. So 48, 8 6 are 48 plus 3, 9 by 48, which means exactly on next Thursday the work will be completed. All right, so first statement is correct. The work will be finished in 10 days? No, because 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11th day the work will be finished. All right, so only A is the answer. 18 men and 9 women can do a piece of work in 20 days. In how many days can 9 men and 18 women do the same piece of work? All right, so 18 men's efficiency plus 9 women efficiency. All right, if M dash and W dash are the efficiencies of each man and a woman, then into what is the total time taken into 20 is the total amount of work, right? So this 18M plus 9W into 20 is equal to, again, the same amount of work should be completed by whom? 9 men and 18 women. All right, their efficiency is again the same thing. M dash W dash M dash W dash, again M dash W dash, okay, into X. We do not know how much time will they take. Okay, from this, are we able to establish any relation between W and M and W without X? No, right? Independent of X, are we able to establish any relation? No. Therefore, the data is inadequate to draw any conclusion. All right. We do not know the efficiencies. We know nothing. Are we able to actually establish any relation in the least? No, right? So data is inadequate. D is the answer. Sita and Geeta work on a project together for 6 days and complete 75% of it. Okay, so Sita let her be represented as S and Geeta let her be represented as G. Okay, now they completed 75% of the work in 6 days. Okay. Sita leaves and Geeta works alone for 5 more days to finish the job. How much work is remaining if 75% of the work is done? 25% of the work is remaining. All right. And Sita is leaving. So Geeta alone completes 25% of the work in 5 more days. That is 5 days. All right. So what are they asking? How long would Sita take to complete the entire project alone? Okay. See, if Geeta is able to complete 25% of the work in 5 days, 100% of the work will be completed by her in how many days? It is 4 times, right? 4 5 is 20 days. Alright. Now, if Sita plus Geeta together can complete 75% of the work in 6 days, then 100% will be completed in how many days? 8 days. How did I get this 8 days? See, this 25% if you split into the 75% if you split into 25%, 25%, 25%, and the 6 days into 3 parts, 2, 2, 2, then how much will you get? So 125% is 2, and you are supposed to add 25% to the 75 to get 100, right? So I'm adding here. You're adding 25%. In terms of days, if you translate that 25%, it will become 2 days, right? So 6 days plus 2 days is 8 days. Alright? So Sita plus Geeta together can do the piece of work or complete the piece of work in 8 days, and Geeta alone can complete the piece of work in 20 days. Alright? Then 1 day's work of Sita plus Geeta together is 1 by 8. Alright? And this is equal to how much will Geeta complete in 1 day? 1 by 20. Plus, let Sita's work, 1 day's work be x. Alright, now x is equal to 1 by 8 minus 1 by 20, and this translates to 40 is the LCM, 5 minus 2, that is 3 by 40. Alright, so x is 3 by 40. Alright, so Sita will take 40 by 3 days. This is 1 day's work, no? So total number of days is 40 by 3. 40 is 40 by 3. It is 13 1 by 3 days. Alright, so A is the answer. Here you have to be very careful. This is Sita plus Geeta's 1 day's work. Alright, now Sita alone in a day will complete how much is what they are, if it is x. They are asking you the total number of days, right? So 1 day's work, will put it as x, and Geeta will complete 1 by 20th of the work in 1 single day. Alright, so this is what I did. Sita plus Geeta together I've taken, and individual sum also I've taken on the right hand side. Alright, so A is the answer. This is method 1. Alright, the other method is Geeta is completing 25% of the work in 5 days. Okay, so per day she's completing how much percentage of work? In 1 day she's completing 5% of the work, and together they worked for how many days? 6 days. 6 days. So how much percent of out of 75%, how much percent of the work did Geeta do? See, 5 into this 5% into 6. Alright, that means 30% of the work was done by Geeta. Alright, so 75% minus 30%, that is 45% of the work was done by Sita. In how many days? 6 days. Alright, so this is Sita, this is together. This is Geeta, sorry. This is Geeta, and this is together. And this is Sita. Alright, so 45% of the work, if Sita is able to do in 6 days, then 100% of the work will be done in how many days? This will give you the answer again. Alright, so how much will it become? 45 by 45 is 6. 100% is how much? Right, the same thing. So it will become 100 by 45 into 6. Alright, so 3 2s are, 3 15s are. Alright, now 5 20s are, 5 3s are. Alright, so 40 by 3. What is 40 by 3? It is 13 1 by 3. Alright, so A is the answer. So this is the second method. Alright, what is the second method that we discussed? In the first method, we've taken together. This is the thing. Individually, Geeta can do this much. So we made an equation and we solved it. In the second method, we've actually seen how much out of 75%, what is Geeta's contribution. And the remaining, we subtracted that one, and the remaining would be Sita's contribution, right? So from that, we derive the answer. All right. 3 carpenters, Ajay, Bhargav and Chari, are entrusted with office furniture work. So let them be represented by the first letters of their name. Ajay, Bhargav and Chari. Alright, Ajay can do a job in 42 days. Alright, per day, he will do how much work? 1 by 42 parts of the work. Alright. Now, this is also called the efficiency. Yeah? Now, if Bhargav was 26% more efficient than Ajay, that means he will complete 1.26 times 1 by 42 of the work per day. And Chari is 50% more efficient than Bhargav. First, we'll solve this. How much will we get? 126 by 100 into 1 by 42. Alright, 42 ones are, 42 threes are. It is 3 by 100. So, Bhargav will complete 3 by 100 parts of work. Alright, now C. What is C seen? It is 50% more efficient than Bhargav, which means he will, per day, he would actually complete 1.5 times of 3 by 100. Alright, now it is 15 by 10 into 3 by 100. Now, 15 3s are, 15 2s are. Actually, 1.5 is 3 by 2, no? But for your convenience, I wrote and I solved it. Alright, so it is 9 by 200. Now, then Bhargav and Chari together can finish the job in approximately how much time? Alright, so 1 day's work is this much and this much. Together, first we'll find out how much will they complete in 1 day. Alright, so B plus C together per day would complete 3 by 100 plus 9 by 200. That is equal to 200. Here you will get, and 6 plus 9. 6 plus 9. That is equal to how much? 15 by 200. That is equal to 15 by 200. Alright, so 5 3s are 3 by 40. Alright, so total number of, in 1 day, they're able to do 3 by 40 parts of the work, or 3 by 40th fraction of the work. Alright, now what is the total days that B and C would together work and complete the work? It will be approximately 40 by 3, that is 13 point something. Okay, because 13 3s is 39. Alright, so it is approximately 13 days. Alright. It takes 6 technicians a total of 10 hours to build a new server from direct computers, with each working at the same rate. This is important. If 6 technicians start to build the server at 11 a.m. and 1 technician per hour is added at the beginning of 5 a.m., at what time will the server be completed? Now, see, there are 6 technicians and they will take 10 hours to build a server from direct computer, which with each working at the same rate. Okay, now 1 technician for 1 hour, let us assume that he will complete 1 unit of work. Why? Because of this statement, we are writing it like this. 1 technician for 1 hour will complete 1 unit of work. Okay, so total how many technicians are there? 6 technicians are there. And for how many hours are they working 10 hours, which means they will have 60 units of work done. That means to build a server, you need to do 60 units of work. Alright, now from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., how many hours are there? 6 hours. Alright, in 10 hours, 60 units of work is being done by 6 members. In 6 hours, how many units will be done? It is 6 by 10 into 60. 36 units of work will be done. Alright, so 36 units of work will be done. How many units are remaining? Remaining units are 60 minus 36. That is 24. Alright. Now what did they give? After 5 o'clock, they were adding 1 technician per hour. Alright, which means these 6 people will be there. Okay, so after 5 o'clock, 1 new fellow will come. Okay, in that 5 to 6 p.m., they will do 7 units of work. Alright, now in the next hour, 6 plus 1 more fellow will get added and they will complete 8 units of work. Alright. And in the next hour, along with the 6 plus 1 plus 1, another fellow will be added and they will complete 9 units of work. Okay, still 24 units were remaining after 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, from 11 to 5, they completed some amount of work, and after 5 o'clock, how many were remaining? 24 units of work was remaining. Alright, out of which 7 units will be completed in the next hour, another 8 units in next hour, and another 9 units in next hour. So 7 plus 8 is how much? It is 15. 15 plus 9 is how much? 24 units of work is done. Right? So see, 5 to 6 o'clock, 7 units of work is done. 6 to 7 o'clock, this much, 8 units of work is done. 7 to 8 o'clock, 9 units of work will be done. So by the end of 8 o'clock, the entire work will be completed. Okay. A task is to be done in 48 days and 96 people are hired to work, each working 6 hours a day. After 24 days, 1/3 of the task is completed. How many extra people should be employed so that the task can be done on time? Each person now working 8 hours per day. Alright, so the task that is there remains the same in the first scenario and the second scenario. Right, now you have to know that if the task is same, then M1, D1, E1, H1 by W1 is equal to M2, D2, E2, H2 by W2. Okay, now what is E here? Efficiency. D is days. Alright. M is the total number of men. Alright. And H is the hours per day that you're working. Yeah. And W is the fraction of work. Alright. So M is people, total number of people. D is number of days. E is the efficiency. H is the hours per day. And W is the fraction of work. Alright. Now in the first case, what is M1? That is 96 people. Alright. They are working for 6 hours a day, which means H1 is 6. How many days? D1 is 24 days. Alright. And what is the fraction of work that is getting completed? That is 1/3. So how much would be remaining? 2/3 would remain, right? If 1/3 is getting completed, 2/3 would remain. 2/3 of the work would remain. Alright. Now in the second scenario, we do not know the total number of people. Okay, 96 plus extra people. So extra people will denote it with X. Alright. So number of hours is how much? It is 8. Alright. And how many days are we supposed to take? D2 is in 48 days, the work is supposed to get completed. Out of 48 days, 24 days, 96 people worked. And in the next 24 days, that is 48 minus 24, that is 24 days, 96 plus X people will work for 8 hours a day to complete 2/3 of the work. Alright. Now, let us substitute all these values in this equation. What are we getting? M1 is 96 into D1 is 24 into H1 is 6 by 1/3 of the work is equal to 96 plus X into 24 into 8 by 2/3. Alright, so 3 here you can cancel. Alright, now what will you get? This 24 and this 24 will get cancelled. Now 2 3s are, 2 4s are. Alright, 2 1s are, 2 2s are. Okay, so 3 into 96 minus 2 into 96. You will have only 196, right? 3 into 96, 3 times of 96 minus 2 times of 96 is 1 time 96, right? Is equal to, you are left out with 2x. So x is equal to 48, which means extra 48 people will be needed to complete 2/3 of the remaining work, or that is remaining work. Remaining work is 2/3, right? So 2/3 of the work will be completed by 96 plus 48 people in 24 days if they are working 8 hours per day. Alright, so C is the answer.
This is it for today. Practice these methods consistently, revise them, and you will be very confident about CSAT paper. Always remember, 10 questions a day keeps your CSAT fear at bay. All the best.